Hi everybody, this is Brian Koo with another ROK video, and today we're going to talk about the proper thinking and strategy behind using your transmutation stones on the best possible armaments that you could pick. And this is a good time for us to do this because I'm preparing to use all my transmutation stones on a live stream later today, because we are going into war in about 20 hours. And so the first thing I would suggest is that you really plan out what you're doing. Save up your stones, and then when you're on the brink of war, come up with a plan for how you're going to use those stones. And I would say that there are two main strategies, or there are two ends of a spectrum upon which you can make decisions about using your stones. One strategy is that you're going to have some very good inscriptions, but some bad stats. And here's a good one. Here's a good, perfect example, right? I have this Desperado inscription, which is very, very good. You take 2% less damage whenever you have 50% units remaining or less. So this is like a very, very good garrison or rally inscription. But the stats on this are not very good. And so one strategy you can use is you can find a number of armaments and inscriptions that you have that fit this category, and then you can simply use one transmutation stone at a time to hopefully get something better in these slots. Now, some people might say, oh, I'm going to use this for cavalry. All I'm looking for is cavalry here. Some people might say, oh, 1.6 health, that's pretty good. 2.9 march speed, that's pretty good. I mean, they're okay rolls, but really, I don't think you want to be locking either of these, especially when this is more of a garrison or rally type of armament. And so it does make sense when you have a very good inscription like this with weak rolls to simply use one transmutation stone at a time and try to get something better. Let's see how we do. Okay, perfect. This is a really good example of what we were looking for. The cavalry defense at 3.3% is nearly a max roll. The max roll on these stats is going to be 3.5% or 2% all damage. So 3.3% is a very good roll, and I'm absolutely going to replace this. And when I roll this later on down the road, I might even roll this on the live stream, to be honest. I will lock the cavalry defense, and so any future rolls here is going to cost me 3 stones per roll. And that sort of, brings me to the other end of the spectrum, the other strategy, and I think this is actually the better of the two strategies, is that you really want to find your absolute best armaments, and then you want to oftentimes use 3 or 5 stones to improve those armaments. Here's a very good example. This is a breaker inscription, which is extremely good. I would rate this at about 5% of stats on this inscription. And then I have another 6% of stats in 2 slots here on the armament itself. So this is on my Nevsky. I've been using this armament for the past few months, and it is a totally viable strategy to lock 2 of these slots and try to get a cavalry stat in that second slot. And if I were to do this, it would cost me 5 stones per roll. And I have 8 rolls remaining. And so if I wanted to go down this path and use this, use all my stones on this, or make this armament my priority, it would in fact cost me potentially all of my stones unless I rolled something good along the way. And the other thing you can do, let me see if I can find a good example. Another thing you can do is, let's pretend for a second that Well-Clad is not a good inscription. It actually is a very good inscription. Let's pretend for a second that it's a bad inscription that you would be fine replacing someday. Because I have a very good roll on this Archer Health, 3.2%, this could also be 1.9 or 2% all damage. in either case, that would be a very good roll. And what I can do is I can essentially roll this. I could lock just the archer health. I could roll this for 3 stones each and try to essentially build a very good armament from scratch through these rolls. And if I was able to get some good rolls and, get, a 2 or 3 slotted armament here, I could then put a inscription on here. I could replace the Whaleclad with a quality inscription, and then I would have essentially, I would have built a very nice armament from scratch, and 2, after I put that new inscription on, I would actually get 10 more rolls to continue trying to build this armament up and make it an extremely good armament. And so the first strategy that I'm talking about is really, it's the thing you want to do if you're trying to just like generally improve your armament system. If you want to just improve your open field and sort of have better armaments in the medium term. Whereas the strategy where you are literally, putting all your stones into 1 or 2 very good inscriptions and trying to make them absolutely elite, that is more building for the very long term. And that's the kind of thing you should be doing if you're a garrison player or a rally leader. Now, those are sort of the spectrum of choices you can make. But honestly, it really comes down to like understanding what you have and understanding, what the correct strategy is for you at any given moment. And so what I ended up doing for my preparation today is I ended up just making a tier list of the inscriptions that I had that I wanted to roll. And so right here at the top, you see that I've got this cohesive inscription that has no good rolls on it. And I just know this like cohesive is such a good open field inscription that I just know I want to improve this on the Nevsky. The second ranked one is Desperado, which I just rolled and improved. So I should actually probably change this. I think I unplugged my keyboard. Here, let me plug my keyboard back in real quick. Sorry. Yeah, so we'll just change this to 3 stones for 7. And then as I went down, it really comes down to you want to prioritize the armaments that you know you're going to use right away. You want to most prioritize armaments for your garrison and rally captains, and then you want to just focus on the ones that can be used in a variety of situations. Now, I'll give you a pretty good example here. Galloping Vitality is currently on my Jan garrison. But what I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping to swap it with Desperado. And the roll that I just got means that I'm closer to being able to replace it. So let me show you this Galloping Vitality inscription. It's right here. So this is really like much more of an open field inscription. And so, I would love to just be able to get I would love to improve the Desperado inscription, and then also hopefully improve this, and then be able to put the Desperado on the Jan, and then swap it, and then swap this one onto an open field march. It would probably actually go on the Justin, or the Justinian, who I'm planning to use in the open field. And so it's kind of like this is just like a very important role. Like improving this is quite important because, it's like a very, very good armament. It's a very, very good open field armament. And, improving the Desperado one is also very key because this is amazing for garrisons. I'll go ahead and use this one time here. I will point out that like Breaker, which is very, very good. It's a very, very good armament that I have here. But I ended up ranking this lower because I just felt like all of these top 4 are just extremely, extremely important. and it's also going to cost me less stones to do these. And so I ultimately felt that doing some of these cheaper inscriptions is going to be worth more to me than focusing entirely on Breaker. Largely because Breaker, although it is very, very good, it's actually not going to be, it's not going to improve my garrison set at all. So let me go ahead and transmute this really amazing armament once. I'm not going to lock the march speed. I mean, march speed is nice. I do get some march speed on the inscription. And march speed, I would convert 3.5% march speed to maybe 2% of stats, which is just a random, it's just kind of an estimate that I've come up with. So 2% of stats is worth re-rolling. And so let's just see if we can do something better with this. We really do want cav stats here. All right, we didn't get anything there. So we're not going to replace this. And we're just going to stick with that. Yep. Now, the only other thing I will sort of make a point about is that what I've really done is I have already, I made a decision on last week's live stream that I think was very important. And I was at the point where I was like, okay, should I be using all my stones to use one stone at a time and reroll some of these sort of, not great, these not great rolls? Should I be like using Enraged? Should I be just using one stone at a time on Enraged? Is that how I should use my transmutation stones? And I was just talking about it not only with Addy Navo, who's the R5 of my alliance, but also some people in our chat, in my live stream chat. And I just came to a point where, okay, this armament right here is very, very important. I've put the destructive inscription on it. It has 2 very good rolls. Maybe I should just use 5 stones at a time to try and get this armament from being a very good one to an elite one. And I will now go into the video of that roll that I did. I don't want to spoil it too much, but check that out. And if you want to see what I do with the rest of my transmutation stones, then be sure to tune into my live stream later today, where I'm going to be doing some crafting and some transmuting. And then also, and that's all in preparation for our Zone 5 war in Orleans that starts tomorrow morning. We're fighting against a 6-star Chinese kingdom, 1393. It figures to be a very good fight. And so, yeah, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and please enjoy this clip from last week's live stream. Yeah, I mean, so I could transmute this. I guess this is like the good example, right? Do I literally try to roll? Do I spend 5 stones trying to transmute this? Or do I sprinkle 1 transmutation stone at a time? I guess I need to roll this, right? I guess at the end of the day, I need to roll this. Am I admitting Addy's right now? Am I admitting that Addy's right now? Look, since we're here, let's just do this once. Let's do this once right now. Yo! Yes! 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 Yo, heads in the chat. W's in the chat. Look at that. That's amazing. Addy was right. Addy was right. You got to go for quality over quantity. You use the 5 stones to roll into the 3.5% health on your very first try. Let's freaking go. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. TJ wants TJ wants your welcome. TJ, I do thank you, because TJ, you definitely influenced me here. You definitely influenced me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't always listen to people, but like, I think I'm generally pretty receptive to logic. Okay, that is awesome. That is awesome. No, Barney, I'm not afraid to tell Addy he's right, because he's wrong about a lot of stuff, so it's fine. It's fine.